Okay, guys, we're going to give you a chance to get in the room. It's showtime, you guys. Thank you for being here. I'm not going to talk right now too much because I know some people are just coming in. So as you come in, guys, how y'all feeling?
Great.
Y'all ready?
Yeah, glad to be here.
He's like, they're like, yeah. Ladies, they're ready to tell us about ourselves. I can feel it. Don't trade a light now. We're feisty down. We got some ladies in the room joining us, so yes, we can
More of
have
us than y'all, so y'all better be nice.
You want to be nice or you want to grow?
Ooh.
We want the truth.
That's
True.
what you're going to get.
The truth.
Can you handle the truth?
Yes.
Well, I hope everybody out there feels the same way as you do.
Oh, this is gonna be good, y'all. So how we looking? We got some people in the room. An IT person in the building. Thank you for all that you do.
Appreciate it.
Listen, I believe in being on time, so I'm gonna give y'all like maybe 60 more seconds to get in the room, and we're gonna get started because I do honor time, and I do appreciate you fellas coming out tonight, leaving your families to hang out with me, but to answer this question that just lingers, and it's what do men and which women do, right? A lot of times it's more about what we think you guys know, and we just jump to conclusions and assume a lot. I've been wanting to do this for 6 years, an all-male panel, and just telling us what it is and how it is, but from real men. And I'm sorry, guys, we have some grown boys out there, and we have some real men out there. And I wanted to hear from real men. And so how I selected this panel was very simple. Instagram. Yes, right? Troy, I don't know how I came across this page, but I was dying laughing one day at one of his videos. If you do not follow Troy Spry, we're going to talk later how you can follow everybody up here. But it was so much truth to what you were saying. And whether you want to hear it or not, it's reality. And it was really funny. So I was glad to reach out to you and say, hey, what do you think about doing a show with me, going live on Instagram and doing this? And you were like, let's do it. So I'm glad you're here. First time meeting in person, so thank you.
Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. And then Troy was like, I have somebody else that you can bring in on this conversation. It was Mr. Vance Andre. So thank you for saying yes.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks for the invite.
You're welcome. He's a relationship coach. I did go and vet you a little bit to make sure you were a good fit. You're welcome. You even kind of dressed like me tonight, so.
It's a great minds think alike.
And then my friend Anthony Bryce, he is not a stranger to me. Hometown, classmate. We took the same path in life. We're both coaches. He's more of a clarity and empowerment coach. I do the same thing, and I add relationships in there, but I just brought Anthony, and we talked about this years ago, too. Doing something together.
That's crazy.
Finally.
Watch it all.
Yeah.
It's exciting.
And you're always so empowering and have a great mindset of clarity, so that's why I want to bring you in.
Yeah.
You don't just always stick around relationships, it's just life in whole, and I love that perspective. So, guys, welcome to my panel. If my audience will give them a hand clap. I'm going to do a brief introduction, a real one, just so you guys to know a little bit about them because they are truly amazing. And I want to thank all of my viewers right now for tuning in. If you are just starting to join us, thank you for being here tonight. I hope you can stay the entire time. And invite some of your friends to come in too. So, Troy Spry. Troy is a certified dating and relationship coach, speaker, and author of the book, Teach Me How to Love. And his tagline on that is, why what you don't know will hurt you. Yeah, I like that. A lot. Why, we all the time what you don't know don't hurt. Why what you don't know will hurt you. He is passionate about helping people get out of their own way in dating and relationships. His mission is simple. I love this mission. Better people equals better mates equals better relationships equals better communities. Mr. Vance Andre is a certified, you guys, when I say certified, I take this serious. Because if you don't see certified in front of somebody's name, it could be any and everybody out here calling themselves a coach. If you're a true coach, you get certified, and I'm just going to take a pause to say this. There's a lot of training that goes into place. It's a lot of, of course, it's things, experiences through life that we talk about. But more than anything, we know what we can do, can't do, what to say, not to say. And we truly do the training to make sure we take your lives seriously. So we're not just calling ourselves coaches. And so you hear me say certified life coach because it's a difference. So certified life coach who speaks in relationships and He's the owner of Advance to Grow Coaching. His focus is helping men and women move forward from broken relationships and find joy in living in a healthy, balanced, and fulfilling life. He's also the co-founder of Between Love and Hate, which is a podcast for singles, married people, and divorced men and women. Welcome, Vince. Andre. Yes. And again, Anthony Bryce. Anthony is a two-time, not one, but two-time best-selling author. He also has his new book out right now. It's Loving Alone Until We're Together. I read it already. You gotta get it. It's amazing. It's gonna change your life. Discover the 4 magnets for maximum attraction to manifest true love. And he loves to call himself the empowerment entrepreneur. Well, Anthony, I like that. And for those who don't know me, I'm life coach DeQuana Wise. I am a certified life coach, motivational speaker. I specialize in purpose coaching, business coaching, and relationship coaching. That's why I'm here tonight. I'm also a trainer for the Tony Gaskins Academy. So if you're looking to be a life coach, I'm your girl. I get you certified. So happy to be here. We're going to jump right into this thing. If you have questions, please put them in the chat. We will do our best to get to those tonight. We had people that sent their questions in to us in advance, so thank you to those lovely people. We have a gift for you later on in the show. But if you do have a question, please put it in the chat and we'll do our best to get to it. Take a sip. Because we about to dive right in. The room just got a little hot. She got the lights on. The room just got a little hot. This Saturday is, how y'all feeling? Because this is how I call this a Lions Den for you guys.
It feels like
I like the ambiance.
Okay.
It's the purpose of that.
Okay, awesome. And we call this a Lions Den because I'm coming into your world. I'm coming into your world.
With the lions.
Y'all lions.
I love it. Can't
All
get
right. And I want y'all to be really comfortable in this room, so I make this about y'all, not about me.
Okay.
But don't forget, it's my show. We gotta get started. At home, have fun, please. Talk in the chat. Talk amongst one another. We want to hear your comments. If you like what you hear, talk about it. If you don't, talk about it. This is not a debate, though, ladies. This is really for us to hear some truth and to do something with it. You can either apply it to your life or not, but these are real truths. So if you don't want to hear it, then you might just be stuck where you are in life. So here we go. Dating and finding someone. We have 3 categories tonight. We plan to be here 2 hours. It may go a little faster, we don't know, but we would not keep you over 2 hours. We do plan on doing a part 2, but we're going to hear from you guys and tell us what you think. And the first category is dating and finding someone. So these are some questions that were submitted in advance, fellas.
Okay.
First question is coming to Mr. Shorts, right? My dating and relationship coach.
Let's do it.
All right. What is the best way to find someone in today's society? Would you recommend in person or a dating site?
Oh man, so excellent question. I get this question a lot. What I would say is that it has to be both. There has to be interaction. So people find their mates usually through social circles, right?
Yeah.
And so if you expand your social influence, which whether that's online through online dating, through Instagram, through Facebook groups, finding people that have like interests that you have, then it makes your odds for finding someone a lot easier, right? But you have to be socially inept in order to find people.
Yeah.
So what I find is a lot of people, especially a lot of women, they sit at home, right? They go to work, they go to their store, they go to the gym maybe, and then they come home.
And
then what happens? Maybe church.
And we try to find
And
somebody.
then you see the same people every week, every day, and you say, there's no men out here. Well, the question really becomes, what are you doing to change your pattern and your routine so that you expose yourself to more people? And once you expose yourself to more people, then we can probably talk about what you do when you do that. But that's the key, right? Is socially, I think, online and offline. For instance, all the people on Instagram right now, Instagram is probably the biggest dating site in the world. People don't even use it that way.
Gosh, that's true.
So I'm just going to pause there and let
How was some DMs?
everybody shoot some shots. That's all I'm going to say.
I like it. I like it. All right, so question 2. How long is too long to date someone? I'm going to ask Anthony that. How is too long to date someone?
How long is too long to
And
date
dating,
someone?
you're not exclusive yet. You're just saying you're dating, which means you can date multiple people right now, right?
Wow.
And so sometimes people stay in the dating zone for a very long time. So I guess she's asking, when should this guy want to be exclusive with me? How long should I date him before?
I don't, that's hard. I don't think there's a specific time because it's going to be based, of course, on the individuals,
Yeah.
and mainly it's going to be you guys getting clear about what you want for yourself and for the situation, whether it's with that person or with someone else.
Okay.
So, of course, that's first going to start with the communication. Being able to have the conversations about what you want, whether you want it, like I said, from that person, or what you want from your life, or what you want from a relationship. So, as far as a time period, of course, I think that can have negative impacts if you come into it with a specific amount of time that you want a lot of things to
You
happen.
think so?
Yeah, because what happens is you have, this schedule about when things are supposed to happen, and that ends up getting you, adding more confusion, realizing that the expectations that you have are different from the person that you're dating. Another thing is that you have to define what dating means.
Yeah.
Dating going to be something different for him and something different for you.
Yeah.
There are people that are in situationship, relationship, whatever, and both of them are classifying them as something different because they haven't talked about
That's right.
what is this, what we're doing. I don't know how many people who have started talking to somebody and 4 weeks, 6 weeks later, they're in a relationship and don't know how they got there.
Yeah.
Because they never talked about
Yeah. That's
being in a relationship with this is what I want. Whether you want it to or not, your behavior and your actions and your reactions to what's going on with the other person are synonymous with someone who's in a relationship.
Yeah.
So that's what happens a lot of times. So you're in a relationship and don't realize.
Yeah. Yeah.
No boundaries, no standards,
No
no
boundaries.
boundaries.
You can't have boundaries and standards if you don't talk about it. You know what I'm saying?
It's like you
Yeah.
Right. That's it.
Yeah.
So basically, you're saying,
We together.
That was a
yeah,
good one.
those conversations need to be had early on, so you
Yeah,
make
absolutely.
sure you both want the same things.
Yeah.
However, if what he's saying and doing don't add up, get out of there.
Yeah. Yeah. Can I add something to that?
Yes, absolutely.
I would always say once you start to feel an emotional connection
Yeah.
to somebody, then now it's time to have a conversation. Up until that point, you guys
Oh,
are just trying to
that's
form a
good.
connection.
Yeah, that's
Trying to get to understand each other, what your likes are, what your dislikes, are we even compatible? Once I find that emotional connection, now my feelings are getting involved. So I need to have the conversation to let you know, hey, I'm starting to feel you a little bit. Kind of where are you? Are you trying to continue to date other people? Are you trying to be exclusive? What are you trying to do? That way, I can tailor my emotions and my expectations on how this thing is going to proceed forward. And that's where a lot of people get caught up.
That's good.
Y'all got me repositioned in my body.
I know, she done
And one of the reasons, and that's a great point, and I think one of the reasons why that isn't expressed is out of fear.
Yeah.
Because they're like, if I tell you truly how I feel and you don't feel the same way,
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
I'm going to feel some kind of way. I'm going to feel like you have the power.
Yeah.
You have the control.
Absolutely.
Because you know I feel this way about you. And you can decide how you feel about me.
So wait, let me back this part up.
Damn.
Put it in reverse.
Put it on the first.
And I'm coming to you. So are you saying man don't tell a woman how he really feels about her? He wants her to tell him first
No.
out of fear of rejection?
He said whomever is
Oh.
feeling. He
Oh,
said
okay.
when emotions.
Okay.
When
But the
emotions
answer is though, because typically y'all do be trying to wait us out. Want us to say it first. Or, I love you first. Or, y'all be acting all macho and stuff.
that does happen.
Is it out of fear
That
of
does
being
happen.
rejected? What is that?
It could be
All right, let
fun.
me go.
Yeah.
Because I think this is a great conversation.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So a lot of it's fear, but always go back to this. When it's right, it's easy. Right? So when two people actually like each other, they don't have an issue having this conversation. Right? But when two people aren't sure about each other, now the conversation is awkward. Right? If you're not sure where you really are and what you really desire, hence you didn't have the conversations on the front end. And now all of a sudden you're at this point where you have a conversation that says like, what are we? Right? What are we doing here? If you're not checking in early and often, right? So you're not checking in early and often. Like, think about when you've had a good, successful relationship.
Right.
Have you ever had to have awkward conversations like that?
They're just conversations.
They were just conversations because I felt you, you felt me, and I was like, you know what? I don't know nobody else to have me anyway.
Yeah.
So therefore, I'm gonna have this conversation whether I'm getting rejected or not. And if you reject me, then I know where I stand.
And you know what? You and I would add to that too, from a man's perspective, and not all men, I'm generalizing, right? I think that men will be comfortable if the relationship is going the way they want it to. Let's say we're just dating and you're not putting the pressure on me to make a decision. I'll continue to do what I do. I'll continue to date. I'll continue to date multiple people. If you give me the goods, I'm going to continue to take them. Right? So he's only going to do what you allow him to.
Right.
So until you put him into that place where he's forced to make a decision, he's probably going to chill out. He may not push the button because he get the milk, right?
Yeah.
The that whole scenario, I can't remember the saying.
Yeah.
But really, you're not putting the pressure on me. So now, why got a cow? You know?
Right.
So you got to really be mindful of that and really think about who you are as a person and what you want, and then make a decision from there. If he does not respond the way you want him to, then you got to move on. He wasn't the man for you,
Yeah.
and vice versa. If it's a woman,
Right.
she wasn't a woman for you. There's other people out here, but you can't get caught up with just this one person and being afraid to put that forward.
That was good.
I agree.
That was
Yeah.
You got the already.
Got some claps over there. All right, moving right along. This is for you next.
Okay.
Should you be honest about all of your wants on the first date?
All of your wants.
Because sometimes it can kind of be intimidating, you push people away, but then sometimes you waste time with the wrong people. So,
Yeah, I would say this, right? The first date for me, and what I recommend people do, you're really just trying to get to know a person.
Okay.
You're really trying to feel out, do you guys have the same chemistry? Do you have the same interests, likes, dislikes? At that point in time, you're really not thinking about necessarily the future until you feel some sort of connection, like I said earlier. Right? So I'm going out here, we're going to talk about just things in general. And through general conversation, that person will say some things, hopefully, that kind of vibe of what you feel, your values, your chemistry, right? Or your characteristics, what you want out of life. And then you can dive a little bit deeper. But I'm not one to suggest you say, hey, I want to be married next month.
Right.
I want 2 kids next year. Right? You should go through this checklist of things that you want like this, right? Because you take the fun out of everything.
Okay.
And dating is, and they, again,
Y'all get it, ladies?
yeah, dating is more about just relaxing. It's really forming that connection with the person and seeing if they're a good fit. Now, if they're a good fit, you'll have a second date, then you can start to kind of unwind a little bit. Then you can start to ask different kind of questions. But first date, no, I'm not revealing everything because I'm not trying to scare this person away. I'm really just trying to get to know.
Right.
That's a great answer.
Yeah.
What's the word, the interview word? I hear the word all the time from men, like, I feel like I'm on an interview.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm on an interview.
Well,
Yeah.
somebody told me that about me.
Well, he was probably.
Somebody told me that about me.
There you go.
They told me they go when I was interviewing
You
you.
probably work just like you're doing right now. Whole conversation just like this.
I'm repeating myself though.
But what it is, it's a lack of having an art of conversation.
Yes.
Like, things come out when you have good conversation.
Two different
Yes.
When you got that little question list and you just check this, check this, check this.
I don't think it was really for me. The questions that I had, I think it's just my personality. So I just try to see where you are mentally before I waste my time because I like smart people.
So we got therapists.
You're a dummy, I can't do this.
You're a dummy.
I can't do dummies, right? So it has to be some substance to you. So I kind of ask, not like, how long you been single, what do you live, what you for live. I'm not that. I just think my tone may seem, it's just who I am as a person. But I'll work on trying to do this.
So that's the thing like the man that got them all to the interview.
But I'm trying to figure out.
I get the purpose behind it, but the approach and the communication.
Yeah.
One tip to I think that helps people is if you can state what it is that you don't have to say I want you to in a relationship, right?
Yeah.
I don't want. You can say, hey, I'm at a point in my life where what I'm really looking for is to build something with somebody special,
Yeah.
right? So you're saying what you desire, and usually that opens up the door
Yeah.
for someone to say what they
Yep.
don't know.
That's true. That's true.
And if they don't respond to that,
If they don't respond to that,
Yeah.
eventually they will.
Okay.
You have to be more direct as time goes on. On the first date,
So don't just
there's
be
no
out
point in
there.
pressing it. Like, why? We're trying to do advance
What
here.
we're trying to do,
We're just
yeah.
trying to have fun and get to know each other.
Yeah.
Okay. So don't make that a red flag. Don't make it a big thing. They just kind of skip over.
It's the first date.
It's the first day.
point taken, point taken.
Don't
Yeah,
it?
they
Don't
just-
it? Relax.
True.
We gotta relax.
Yeah.
They played the whole wedding and they saw his profile.
He's like colors.
Nigga, this time,
Yeah.
we're gonna
Yeah.
have it here and built my house.
Yes.
Y'all playing the whole wedding.
We gotta
You
relax.
right? Desperation is
Right.
not attractive. So if you are desperate, like, oh yeah, are you how many kids you got? Are you looking to have kids? Like, yo, what's really happening here? What's really going on in your life? So you really want to be mindful of that, so that you're not pushing that person away
Too soon.
too soon.
Gotcha.
And let me make this last point that we're not saying don't ask these things and that these things aren't important. We're just saying first date.
First
date. First
You know, I want to get that clear.
Clarification.
I don't want to make you
It's very
think that
true.
we're not supposed to. You're not supposed to ask these
Yeah.
questions. You're not supposed to want things. You're not supposed to express what you want from a relationship. You absolutely should, but on the first date, make it conversational, making it even exchange rather than an interview.
Have fun.
Okay, have fun.
That's it.
Thank you. That's why
Thank
you
you,
said
Clarity.
I say
You got the right time, right?
We got a new word.
We gotta
Make it about discovery.
Ooh, make it about
Discovery.
discovery. I like that.
Discovery.
I
Hey,
like
you
that.
got a couple of these, you'll start talking.
It was after this.
Yo, you talking right
So this question is so broad, and I wasn't gonna ask it, but it was asked.
Okay.
Who am I not to honor your God's wishes? I have my answer to this, and I'm gonna answer this question. I know I'm not supposed to,
Okay.
but sure.
Okay.
Do all men cheat?
This is the question. This is the question we
That's
got.
the question.
You worry about the wrong thing.
Answer the freaking question.
The answer is no. Right? The answer is absolutely not. Right? No, not all men think. 'Cause, I mean, cheating comes down to not a lack of desire, it comes down to a lack of discipline. Right?
Okay,
And so
come
when you
on.
find people who are disciplined, then they can understand that there's risk and a reward to every action that you take. And men that are disciplined, that have something going on, that have purpose, that have something to lose, then they probably aren't cheating.
So somebody left the door open.
And then even then, the older
The big word,
generalization.
Okay, so y'all said no to all.
There is no all anything. You know, we could say this, ask the same question.
Majority of men cheat.
It's not even a majority question.
Mm-hmm.
What is it, guys? Have you all ever cheated?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, everybody.
Yeah, we've had it.
Yeah.
See, but that's the thing. But that even goes back to defining the kind of relationship you have.
Okay.
Because
Maybe
somebody may feel like you're in a relationship with them,
And
and
you're
you
not.
don't feel like you're in a
And
relationship
you're
with
not.
them.
Oh,
But
that's what I'm
they feel
saying.
like you're cheating, and you feel like technically we're not even together.
Man, look,
Can I say what I think?
Okay, cool.
Although what I think really don't.
It matters. It matters.
Only because y'all tell me what it is, right? If y'all tell me no. I think yes, but I think at certain points and periods in your life you do. So you
That's
can
fair.
grow out of it.
that's fair.
You can grow out of it. So for instance, if I met somebody at a younger phase in his life, but then as he went through life and gained
That's
more
what
life,
I'm
he
saying.
got to a place where, yeah.
When you were younger.
So maybe when he got a little older, it was like, I'm
They're
tired.
matured.
I'm
Yeah,
tired. I
yeah,
don't want to
that's
do that
the
no more.
Yeah.
But I think all men have or will if you haven't.
I feel like all people.
But
That's what I'm about to
I
say.
didn't ask y'all that.
You're right, but
Yeah,
but we have to go.
that was not the question.
You're right. We have to make that point. We have to make that. That's all people, humans,
I didn't want y'all to do that.
have
I
the
just
capacity.
want y'all to do
What would happen if the question was flipped? You would have said,
I would say absolutely. I would say stand up in it. Stand in it.
We just stood there.
But don't be trying to throw us in there.
It's not throwing us in there. We in this together.
The answer was yes, they changed it to
Look,
yes.
20-year-old Troy,
Okay. Yeah.
38.
That's what I'm saying. So yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that's why I think yes is the answer.
Right.
But you mature and you don't cheat your entire lives.
You're right.
Right?
But again,
You're
that
not-
word all,
Some do.
right?
Right.
So even the 20-year-olds, right? Some men are just loyal by nature.
Yeah.
They're
They are.
20.
Yeah.
They just want to be with one person and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay.
But a good portion, most likely,
not.
have explored
Okay.
or experimented.
So I have another question, and it's not next. It's not next.
Good
That was a
answer.
good answer, but I'm gonna go to this question. Let me find
What
it
was your
because
question, man?
did you call my question a little question? listen, wait, where is it? Because dang, I wanted to follow this question. I do, and I can't find it. I'll get back to it. I don't want to take up too much time. But the next question is, I'm not going to ask this one right now. This is later. This could be a show by itself. This is for you, Anthony. Why are men great at first, good communicators, pay attention to detail, very caring, and then it kind of fades away?
Give me that question again so I can make sure I understand. Is that why are men
Why are men great at first?
great at first?
Great.
Yeah, great.
Great, like amazing, good communicators. They pay attention to detail. They're very caring, very nice, very sweet, all those things. And then it kind of slowly fades away. What is that? Why?
I mean, to be honest, of course, he has an objective at first. You know, he comes into it. He's trying to woo her. He's trying to get to know her. He's trying to make a great first impression. But again, I know you guys don't want me to say this, but I think over time, everything dwindles to some extent from both sides. You know what I'm saying? Because at first everything is fresh. You know, you get a new car. You get a new car tomorrow. You're washing it every day. You're making sure the inside is clean, the rims are clean every day. Oh, where you going? Don't touch that. Y'all get in here. That's it.
There you go.
Now, we a year from that, 2 years, 5 years, look like you're living out of your car. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I make that example just to show that over time, those things, that's just natural.
Yeah.
And that's why it's so important. We're going to come back to this communication thing. We're coming back to hey, let me understand what you want, what you need, what you need from me, what I need from you, what we need from each other. Important to have that conversation continually. So that's going to be the thing, to understand that none of this is a singular act or a temporary or short period.
Yeah.
Everything, as he grows, you grow, we grow. And we have to continue to have these conversations and to learn about each other. Because you're not the same person you were last week, last year, last month. You know what I'm saying? So you're always changing. But if I don't know those changes, I'm not going to know how to serve you in the best way possible. So we have to continue. We have to commit to check in with each other. So we're always
Love
having
check-ins.
conversations.
What if we did love check-ins?
Yeah.
Do love check-ins. How often should we do love check-ins, guys?
All the time.
Like how often? Like maybe every 30 days,
I do
every
one,
60 days?
I think it was weekly minimum.
Once a
Yeah.
month.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think if you
I like
feel
this
the
one.
disconnect,
Yeah.
if you feel something's off,
Yeah, talk about it.
Yeah.
then hey, what's going on?
I like that.
Yeah. Can I say something too about that question? Men are hunters by nature.
They are.
Let's get
So-
into this.
so
This
what-
is my next question. Go ahead.
So we are in the lion's den.
Yes, we
So
are.
that's a great analogy, right? Lion. Have you ever watched a lion hunt? What they do is they crouch down and they study their prey. They watch their every move. If it puts its head up, it's noting that, right? It's adjusting its style because it wants to catch that prey. Men do something similar in that we study women, right? So we see somebody across the room, we see her looking a certain way, we're figuring out what she's doing, we're looking at what kind of drink she has, we're gonna order the drink, hey, let me get that drink for you. Right, so I'm trying to figure out how I make my move to catch my prey. Not that you guys are prey, but the analogy is that we are. Yeah, so that's why we do these things, and we are very good at it because we've been trained from early on.
Okay, stay right there for a second.
Yeah.
Trained, or do you think that's just who you guys are?
I think we're trained, right? Trained.
All right, that's great that you said that, because some people think that's just how you guys are born and you're wired to be that way, and because of that, they say that's why all men cheat, or we cheat because we're born like to have this thing where we just need multiple women, which is the next question. Do all men desire multiple women while in relationships? Like that desire, is it just there just because that's how you guys are made up?
Mm-hmm.
It never goes like, or is it that you're trained and you're taught from an early age that you the man if you got multiple women?
Yeah, no.
Because man do teach you guys that.
Yeah, I would say this. I think it's a desire. I think we are hormonal early on, right? So men hit early puberty, 13, 14, you start to feel yourself, right?
Yeah.
Having those wet dreams at night, right?
I know that.
And you like changing your own sheets. You know, I remember them days like that. Right? So we are very hormonal. We all get more hormonal as you get older. So as you're hormonal, you're trying to figure out, how do I handle this business? I want to be with multiple women. I want to date. I want to have sex. Now it takes a man who is very thoughtful, right? And you have to really control that as you get older, because the desire doesn't necessarily go away. You just think about, like Troy said earlier, what's the consequences? Risk and rewards. Because I want to suppress some of that, even though I might see you looking really good. I might want to be with you. I'm not even gonna go there because I know what comes along with it.
Yeah.
As I get older, there's a lot of responsibility
Yeah.
that comes along with that sex.
Yeah.
More evolution, right? I mean,
Yeah.
be fruitful, multiply. That's what we.
Yeah.
That's what we. That was the order we were given. To be fruitful and multiply, right? And And so, whereas, think about, we can reproduce as often as we want.
Yeah.
Women reproduce what, once a year?
Yeah.
Potentially once a year?
Yeah.
So you have to not carry a baby, be secure for the
Yeah.
baby.
Yeah.
There's a lot of things that I think are natural, but we're socialized
Yeah.
Yeah.
to in the other way, right? We're socialized to say, I get a reward for having more women.
Right.
Right? So a big part of young men's identity is how many women they have.
Yeah.
Right? And how many women they can conquer. That's a big part of like social circles when you're a kid.
Yeah.
You're like,
Yeah.
I got to talk to this girl. I got
Yeah.
this girl. I remember going to the fair and be like, who gonna get the most numbers? I remember those days. So you have no
Yeah, I remember
identity
that. I
in your
remember that.
conversation until you become mature.
Gotcha.
And it's really based on that stuff.
Yeah.
So it's socialized that way.
It is that, and I'll say this, I don't think that all men naturally want more. The points that you guys made, I think is cultural, I think is exposure.
Oh, wow.
If this is what I see growing up, I see multiple women, I see me being praised for multiple women, then I think that's where a lot of the culturally, the guy, the cool guy that all the women want.
Yeah.
Now, I know y'all gonna get mad at me for always bringing you guys into it, but
That's good.
what's the saying? No woman wants a guy that another woman doesn't
Preach.
want.
There you go.
Preach.
And that's the case. And because those women are flocking to this particular guy who desires multiple women,
Yeah.
I feel like I have to be desirable by multiple women as well. Most of the things that we do when it comes to women usually comes from what our perception of what women want or what they express that they want.
Absolutely.
You can't tell me you want the nice guy who's emotionally intelligent and treats you this way, has this respect, but you run for the guy that has this car, or you run for the guy that treats you this way, or the guy who you know used to be with your friend and didn't treat her right, but something about him you still curious about, and you still go that way. But this other guy still sitting there like, okay, that must not be what she really
You try to
wants.
turn into what you think women want.
Absolutely.
Not even what you think you want, it's what
What we flock to.
by your behavior.
Yeah.
You're going off your behavior. You can tell us you want this guy who's like this and that. But if this guy that got all of this money and he has no substance, but he has this money, and those guys who you were looking at.
I was told by a friend that, I want to get this right, I'm probably going to screw it up, so if you're watching, don't get mad at me, I'm the best I can, that basically the men that we really want, the good men that's going to treat us right, not really cheat, adore us, admire us, all those great things, are probably lame or not that cool, a little corny. But we run after the athletes and the money and the fame, right? And so if we want to be treated a certain way, because that comes with their lifestyles, a lot of women, right? And they're not going to have to cheat, like you go back to your point, risk and rewards. But in order to really like feel like you get what you're really looking for, you're gonna have to, I won't use the word settle, but not chase what you're used to wanting and kind of settle for the guy that's not so popular.
That's still a myth.
Okay, talk
That's
to
a
me
myth.
guys.
I mean, I think these guys are mature guys,
Yeah.
nice guys,
They are.
probably desirable guys.
I don't find them corny though.
And I wouldn't call them lame.
Well, let me not say the word lame. I don't think they said
But,
that.
you use the word lame. But what you're saying is true. That's not the guy that's cool. You know what I'm saying? So the myth is that it can't be a guy who's cool, who kind of had himself together. He has charisma. You know, you feel like you have to miss out on those things and get the nice guy who's boring, who's gonna respect. You know he's gonna come home and somebody gonna want him. I'm speaking up for the guys who are handling their business. They're cool. They're charismatic. They're getting their money. They're taking care of their women. They're taking care of their families. But you know, they don't have to be put into that box.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I would say it's like this. Think about watching the news. Rarely do you want to see good stories, right? You want to see the drama, right? Think about reality TV. If you had a great reality TV show where everybody was wholesome and the guy was coming home and he always treated his wife great, versus the rashness they fighting, you're going to gravitate towards that. Same thing with men and women, right? Women, I think, might gravitate towards the bad guys, right? The guys that got
Yes.
on the news and they got the maybe a rap sheet, right? And maybe the perception might be they slinging that thing. Right? So we gravitate naturally to something that is temptation.
Yeah.
Right? It's the ultimate temptation. We're tempted by the things that aren't necessarily the best thing for us, but it's intriguing. And that's what I think captures women and why they go for guys that are more on the quote-unquote bad side versus the nice guys.
I like that.
So one last point I'm gonna make it really short is it comes down to a lot of this false sense of security, right? So a lot of times what attracts men to women what attracts women to men the most, just psychologically, is status, right? And so a lot of those guys have status.
Yeah.
Status says that I'm secure, right? But security really means something different as you get older.
Yeah.
Security means stability.
Yeah.
It means consistency.
Yeah.
It means communication. It means all those things. So that guy can't give you that, which is why when she becomes 40 plus, now her tone changed. And so now you got Mike Jones. Back then, you didn't want me. So back then, you didn't want that guy. Now you're like, now I'm a stable guy. Now men have started to say, nah, I'm good now. And so you can't wait. That's why I'm telling women watching this right now. You can't wait until it's too late to then be like, oh, now I want the guy that's stable and mature and all the other things.
I had all
By that
my
time, you're like, what?
Yeah.
You're like, nah, I'm good now. Now I want this one.
I had my fun, read stuff down.
Yeah.
You up?
That's good. That's good. Okay, next question. That was good, guys. Here we go. What's something common that women initially do that you consider a red flag? I'm going to ask you that, Lance. What's something, I think I want all you guys to answer because you all have something different. What's something common that women initially do that is considered a red flag for you?
I would say a form of desperation, right? So they're trying to really come at me or a guy in a way where they want to lock them down right now. Right? You can't do that. That's like, hold up. Why are you trying to press me on something so soon? That's a red flag. Like something's going on in my mind because I feel like we haven't even gotten to know each other yet.
Yeah.
You're already worried about if I want to get married, if I want to get married tomorrow, next month. That's cool. We can do it maybe later on down the road, but don't scare me away. I run away from that because it's not, for me, it's not natural, right? There's something else behind that, and I gotta make sure I understand what that is. So I would say making sure that there's no form of desperation. That's about.
Okay.
That's good. That's good. Evan.
No, we go ahead, Trey. I talk so much.
Okay.
I'll get into it, but I'll let you go
Okay,
first.
all right.
I don't have no problem talking. So listen, I would say lack of accountability. So if you're talking to a woman early on and it's always someone else's fault, there's always someone else to blame. Her ex was this and her ex-husband was that, and there's never any accountability about what she learned, how she grew.
Yeah.
That's
That's
a red
good.
flag too, because I know if I'm in a relationship with her,
Dang, she gonna do you the same.
I already know she ain't gonna never take no accountability.
That's right.
Ooh, that's good.
That's good. That's good.
And I'm glad you said that though, because a lot of times we just don't know. It's not that we may not take accountability. You just want that new person to know what may have happened in your last relationship. But maybe that's not a good thing to do later. Because
Right.
it sounds like you won't take accountability.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
mine
That's
is
good. That's real good.
mine is pretty much a combination of both of them. It's the complaining, like me, somebody who complains a lot. You know, oh my
Yeah.
God, the negative energy, this negative, man, everything is bad. Just I can't take it. The other thing was I get negative energy, man, impacting the circle.
I don't like it either.
I don't either.
Yeah. So the other thing is too fast. You're kind of worried about kind of what I have like going on. Like, oh, I text you didn't text me back fast enough. You know what I'm saying? I hear a girl and a female in the background. Who is that? You know what I'm saying? I hear flu in the background. Shut it down. You know what I'm saying? So just
I don't like that fun in the background.
yeah, just making that happen so fast. You know, where you know, after that first joint, you already having, you know, girlfriend feelings and girlfriend expectations without any of that.
Yeah.
Like, I want to know what's going on
That's
with
too
you.
much.
You didn't talk to me. I sent you that text and I've been looking at
That's
it.
crazy.
I see you read it.
It's seen on
Yeah,
it.
I see it.
That's a little crazy.
Yeah.
So
That's really
so
like, how do you view a woman who wants to cook for you automatically, who wants to rub your feet or to give you a pedicure or something like that initially, without getting to know you? Yeah. What about
Is
those?
that desperation to you?
That's just who she is, right? She's a nurturer. If I had a woman who did that for me, then to me she's a nurturing person. So not necessarily a turn off. And if that's what I want in a relationship, if that's what I want in a woman. But I would say, just be careful, right? Because if you start out doing that, the expectation is you continue to do that throughout the relationship. So that you can maintain it.
Right.
Be mindful of that,
Yeah.
right? Again, not necessarily a turn on, but
Yeah.
just I'm going to expect that going forward in our
But why
relationship.
can't you just be appreciative that she does that and not expect it all the time? Why is
Well, I
that
can be appreciative. Yeah, no. What I'm saying is, if you do it in the beginning and then we start dating and then you stop doing it,
I might just get tired. I be tired.
You-
They change. We grow. I might work for later.
Can you just have a question about this? That why men change what they do as time goes on?
That's why.
No. She just said, now you stop. You didn't say that.
Oh, you didn't say it's okay. It's okay.
No.
She did it. That's a
She
part
said
of
it's my
it's
show.
a part of the
Tell me
show.
again. Tell me again. Whose show is this?
The wine, what a wine show.
I'll drop it. That's true.
And another thing to what Vance was saying, and to your question, is that I think, because that's happened to me before, like real early on.
Yeah.
And at first it was like, okay, but being open-minded, giving her the chance to, because she was trying to pretty much show this is what I bring.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That, I mean, women have representatives as well. You know what I'm saying? They put their best foot forward to let you know what to expect, how much they care, that they want. It's something there.
Yeah.
So there's a level of appreciation that you would take that step that a lot of women wouldn't do at first because they're waiting on you
That's right.
to do something to show them. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
So,
We just be trying to love y'all.
well, maybe that's what for her. Exactly, that's the way that she wants to show her love.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But we don't know that initially. But being open-minded and allowing her to do that because that's who she is, and she wants to show that to you. You know what I'm saying?
You allow her to do that.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
Can I add something to the initial conversation we had? So I think another thing that would maybe be a red flag for men is a woman, at least at this age, who doesn't have goals, who is dependent on me to make her happy. Right? I can do things to make her happy. But you know what? It is something, well, I'll say joyful, right? So you have to have the internal joy on your own and be able to just, have goals or have your friends where you're hanging out with them. And don't depend on me to do everything for you because I'm a human being at the end of the day. And I may fall short in that category in some regards. So, again, just be mindful of your goals, how much pressure you're putting on that man potentially to make you feel a certain way, make you happy consistently.
Hey, compliments to the clarity coach that I clarify something. Because I don't want women to hear this. I don't want them to hear, if I got all my goals and my money and all this other stuff together, you should want me. Right? I got happiness. No, you said happiness. Happiness didn't always equate to money. Right? So you can have goals and be passionate about things that are not just incorporated with how much money you make, how many cars you got, whatever you drive. So I see a lot of women that lead with that. And they think that automatically makes them this first round draft pick to a man. And I'm like, nah, he said be happy. Like have something else going on. Beyond just me. Not all your stuff, but you come and you put that on the table, like, why you don't want me?
Right.
So you got clarity?
That's
good.
That's clear.
Clarity comes to prove we're good.
That's good. So how y'all doing right now? Let's take a sip if you need a sip. You need to repeat. You need some more? You need a refill?
Take it on. Refill for
Go
all
ahead.
this?
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
That's what this is.
Go ahead. Y'all, this is real raw. Listen, I don't do nothing normal. I'm not a normal person. So we're gonna let
She's a great host.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
You got a great audience.
We do. Thank y'all for being here. Y'all can't smell my candles right now, but they smell so good.
Oh,
That's your favorite one?
Little bean.
And that's called simplicity. I love simplicity.
Okay.
I don't need a
Keep it
whole
simple.
lot of, keep it simple.
Yeah.
Keep it simple. Don't give me no fluff. Don't do that. Just simple.
Shout out to the people on the live too.
Yes, y'all being here. here we go, keep moving right along. Would you prefer a woman with an extensive dating history or not? This is a really good question because, you know, that experience is so important. But do y'all judge us when we have like some bodies on us and you know, because y'all be having bodies and we have to see our
Oh, we gotta have bodies. Oh, you just have
We got bodies. We
experience.
got bodies.
They got experience.
1,000 times.
Yeah.
Because y'all already know we have a dating history. That's what y'all thinking. How many men and stuff?
We really don't.
Oh, that's good. So y'all don't think about that.
Not like that.
Okay, talk about it.
Okay, ask me the question first. Let me get to that, and then we'll expand.
Then y'all don't.
Huh?
That's the question.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's
I'm
good.
getting back to the
We
question.
get to that. Okay, get to the question. Ask me.
Y'all do not care about how many partners we had prior to you.
We don't base
Y'all.
how much we value you and the potential of the relationship based on how many people you've been with.
Okay, that's good.
You know what I'm saying? We let me tell you something else. We don't ask. We don't
I'm so glad you said that.
No, I don't ask that question. Okay, we ask that.
A guy is asking how many people you've been with?
No, nobody does.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay, absolutely.
So it's not.
I mean, maybe one.
That's
Yeah,
good.
but-
That's good.
Like, what's the benefit to
He wasn't grown if he asked you.
Okay, that's good.
That's not a grown
That's not a
people
grown
question.
man question.
Yeah.
Grown
Yeah.
men do not ask women how many
many
partners
partners
they
here?
have.
So
Yeah.
here's
So,
the
if you ask
caveat.
that run, it's a red flag.
Here's the caveat though.
Okay.
It depends on how it affects me socially too. Now, I hate to say it, but
Okay.
there are some things that's gonna be like, you know, can I blow up my woman and not feel embarrassed? Right?
Yes.
Meaning everybody party
If everybody's
Yes.
party, I know that if she done been out there,
You walking in there and
you
you
walking
walking
in there, you too. Now I got a little pride issue.
Right.
Call me immature.
Right.
I'll put it
Yeah.
right. Call me immature. But
Right.
I need
Yeah.
to know that my woman has she ain't gotta be like a virgin.
Yeah.
Well, at least she's got some experience, but has everybody in the party?
Right.
Yeah.
How will you know that if you
That's
don't
the
ask her?
Because men talk too.
Man, talk to you.
And we
You're
probably
right,
run in
man.
the same
If
circle.
a dude see, like, Troy with a little girl,
Yeah.
let me holler at
Yeah, let
her
me holler
to
at
let
her.
them know what the deal so we
Oh, y'all do
into
that.
an open house. It's
I'm
rare.
in a fraternity.
And we
I know what time it is.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, but you know, the relevance to the current relationship, right? So I don't even need to know at this point, right? Unless to be I'm walking into
That's
a
your
social
boy
circle.
hat or something like that.
Yeah. That's a whole
Homies
different
around.
Bro,
That's bro code, right?
Gotcha.
But I don't even want to know because that's not relevant to the conversation or the relationship rather that we are in now. So if I need to ask that question, then there's some insecurities maybe within myself that I may be dealing with, right? And what's that going to do to further our relationship? If I find out that you got, 50 bodies for a woman, I might be like, why you got 50 bodies? Versus not even worrying about that. As long as you treat me okay and I'm getting what I need to get from you, we're having our sexual shit. Okay, cool. Let's keep it moving because everybody got a pass.
Yes.
That's
absolutely.
right.
All
That's
pass
right.
aren't necessarily the best thing. Yes.
Right.
It's not even about that. Let's move forward in our present and our future.
Well, my wife said, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Yeah, and let me close out with that. Let me add one more thing. Asking that question, be careful, because if you ask it, you deserve for it to be asked back to you as well. And it opens up the possibility for somebody to feel like they're going to be judged.
Yeah.
And that's the last thing people want
Yeah.
is to start talking about their past. And you not, of course, you just met them, so you don't know all the details about what's going on.
That's true.
But if you start calling out a number, now I'm going to equate that number with what my perspective is of somebody who has that many people.
Yeah.
Now I'm judging you. Now I'm looking at you sideways,
That
like
ain't right.
I don't know if I want
You
to
can't
do
tell
that.
me
You know
about.
what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Exactly.
So back to the initial question: would you prefer a woman with an extensive dating history or not?
What's
And
it?
I'm the one that kind of threw in the whole
Yeah,
body.
you
that
know,
y'all know.
what's extensive?
Yeah,
Let's
what's
find
extensive?
that.
Dating history. I guess just
How old is she? She don't have an extensive dating history. Hopefully.
what would you prefer? You want women that have. I'm saying it's important to have that history. Do you think that
Right.
I think it's important
it's needed?
to have
It's
experience.
needed.
Yes.
Yes.
You have to have experience,
Yeah.
right? Because you need to know what you I know you like me. You've been through some
Yeah.
things.
You got something to compare
You
to.
got something to compare to. So now we're good. We can move forward. So I wouldn't say necessarily a lot versus a little.
What's some?
Just have some experience.
Right.
And I think it's inevitable at
Yes.
this age for
Right.
some people.
Is
to
that a
have-
red flag if someone does not?
Mm-hmm.
She like to watch she a virgin?
No.
No.
Just
No.
She had been committed.
No, like just that she hadn't dated much.
I get
Just
it.
been- maybe a slow start.
I don't know if I call it a red flag, but I'm definitely aware because if she hasn't dated, then you have a certain expectation that maybe a certain experience that she hasn't had, maybe she hasn't been where she had to, resolve certain conflicts and
Yeah.
go through certain things.
Yeah.
And if she hadn't had that experience, then you know that, okay, we're gonna have to go through some growing pains. You know what I'm saying? If you talk about moving in with somebody, she's never lived with anybody. She's always stayed with her parents. That's something different. You know what I'm saying? So you
Yeah.
consider all those things.
Let me add this too. Think about from a job perspective. You got folks that have been on the job for a while. They have experience, so they're more seasoned.
Yeah,
They understand
yeah,
how to handle
absolutely.
rough patches.
Yeah.
When things go wrong, they know how to maneuver. They're not going to panic and like jump ship.
Yeah.
You want a woman who won't necessarily just jump ship if there's the first sign of trouble.
Yeah.
And if they've been through relationship, they most likely have been through some troubles.
Mhm.
Now you're with me, let's handle it together. I'm not going to just run away when I see the first sign of trouble.
I do too.
Yeah, that was
Relationship. Yeah. See, that's certified talk right there. Certified. All right, so moving right along. How about what time? What's our time?
6:52.
Okay, we're doing good. We're doing good. We're doing good. I told you I was at time. You just kind of spoke about this a little bit. When is it okay to move in together?
Good question.
Is that me? Because I spoke
Yeah,
about it?
because you just spoke about it.
All into it.
I mean, that's a very personal decision. It's so much you have to consider.
Yeah. When is too soon? Would you think like a month and we in love and is that too soon?
It would feel too soon, but it happens.
Yeah.
Of course, it depends on the people. There can be certain circumstances.
Yeah.
We know that we're moving forward together. My lease is about to be up. You know what I'm saying? You stay in another state and we want to be close, together.
Yeah.
Both our leases about to be up. We got to figure out what we want to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So they're
But is that the reason to move in with someone though? Kind of
no, it wouldn't be the reason. I'm just saying that they're going to be different factors
Okay.
that come into play when you're considering something like that.
Okay.
So for me, I don't know if there's a particular time. If you say a month, it's going to feel soon. You know what I'm saying?
But
Just
as a
without-
man, what would you tell a woman like to kind of because you know yourself,
Okay.
you know yourselves.
I'm gonna say I'm different in this aspect. I'm not a huge fan of moving together.
Mhm.
I'm just
Yeah.
not because I think most times it puts the woman at a disadvantage.
Yeah.
Right? So she moves in, now she has certain expectations on being a wife,
Mhm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And then it delays, I think, the next step a lot
Yeah.
of times, right? So
Yeah.
the only time you see a woman, she's been with a man 5 years, lived with him 5, 10 years.
Yep.
And
Yeah.
she ain't got a reason to, right?
Yeah.
And then it makes it harder to leave
Mm-hmm.
as well.
Yeah.
So I'm just not of the opinion that if we both have the resources to live separate, but just because we don't live together don't mean we can't
Visit.
share experiences and
Yeah.
visit and spend the night and learn. People always say, well, you don't know somebody till you live with somebody. I know if I can communicate with you, right? I know if I can get along with you. Even if I don't live with you, I understand what your
I
personality
can
is.
come to your house and see how you live.
I can see how you live. I don't have to live with you to see how you live, right?
Yeah.
And then if I can compromise, if I can do the basics, I can communicate, I can compromise, I can do all those things. Why do we have to be in a rush to live together? I think that's a falsehood has been sold to us
Yeah.
that you got to move with
Like you
somebody.
have to.
Yeah.
I just don't think that's my opinion. That's my opinion. It ain't based on nothing but opinion.
Right.
Yeah.
But I think it puts women at a disadvantage more times than not.
I like that answer.
Yeah.
I really like that.
Y'all have a different
So I
opinion.
have this thing with being single right now, right?
Mhm.
And I was always in relationships. I love love. I love being in relationships.
Mhm.
But I haven't been in one in like a serious relationship in like a year and some change, year and a half.
Mhm.
So I live alone, and I've been married before divorce, and I've learned to love living alone.
Mm.
So, and I'm talking about myself, so
Right.
it's definitely a good thing. However, I don't want to trade it in, but I do want to build with somebody, right?
Mhm.
So is it too much to ask to keep my own pad,
Mhm.
even if I get with someone and we decide to build a house together, move in together? like kind of like carry like Sex in the City. I still want to have my own. Is that okay? Or you're saying no, we gotta be in the same house and maybe we can have a room down the hall.
You want
I just
kids?
don't want to.
Yeah.
You want to have kids?
No, I'm done with kids.
Are you saying that you're married?
Yes.
You said you guys got married. I still want to keep my stuff.
Maybe I won't say married, but date. It's exclusively dating.
Yeah, of course.
And we decided to move in together. Even marriage, though, I may still want my own.
Well, that's a different conversation.
Yeah.
But you agree?
I agree.
Yeah.
I think it's more about the conversation with you and your husband or exclusive boyfriend
Okay.
as to what you guys want to do together. Like, is he cool with that? Are you cool with that? And come to some sort of agreement,
Yeah.
right? So again, it's a personal decision that depends on the person and the couple. But at the end of the day, we have man caves, right? So you hear about that a lot of times. Even when you're living in the same house, you got a space where you go to just to get away. 'Cause I'm
Like,
assuming
even
you
if
wanna
I
do
get
it.
married, I still want my own area space.
Area
I need my
space.
own room. I need my own
Yes.
bathroom.
Yeah.
I want to decorate it the way I want.
Absolutely.
You think you want to be in your space?
Nope.
See? So that's
Once you have your own space.
and we can choose whose bed we sleep in at night. I come to your house, you come to mine. Like,
Do I have a key to your house too?
absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Absolutely.
You bring up a good point when you're talking about now that you're single, that you've learned to enjoy being by yourself. I think that's super important. For anybody who's listening, who's like, you feel like you're ready to be in a relationship, you're ready to get married, you're ready to be with somebody like that, the most important thing is for you to learn how to be happy
Yep.
by yourself. Enjoy being by yourself. Have fun. Like, live life now. Don't wait to get into a relationship to feel like you have to start living. Wait when so-and-so comes in, when I have this, I'm married or whatever, then I'll start feeling this way. No, do that now. If you learn how to cultivate that right now, it'll be even that much more when you get into a relationship.
I like that.
You become more attractive when you have a life. When you have something going on, you are a more attractive person on the dating scene.
You searching on my book because you ain't even read it.
It's the clarity.
And this is not even, this is a question of mine. Is it because I get that I'm intimidated? What is that? Like when you have a certain status or when you carry yourself a certain way, and I'm fun and I like to have a good time, but on the outside looking in, men go, oh, I thought you were so intimidating. I thought you were this way, but you're not.
So bougie.
Yeah, and I'm not, but what is that? Like,
Well, personally, my initial thoughts is I put that more on the man's side, his own insecurity, how he feels about himself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, right.
Because he's not going to feel like he's matching you, or he's going to feel like you're going to have a certain perception of his value and how successful he is based on his perception of how successful you are. You're going to have certain level of expectations for him. Well, you're making this much, or you have this, or you come off this certain way, you have a certain network. I'm going to feel smaller or not like a man when I'm in your presence. You know what I'm saying? But that's not your fault. I don't want women to feel like they need to minimize their power to satisfy a man. Because if you have to do that, that's definitely not the man.
Yeah,
I like that.
I would say at the end of the day, most men don't want to be emasculated.
That's it.
So I think if you go back through heritage, tradition, and how people our age were raised, the man was typically the head of the household, right? So they kind of set the tone. Even though they probably relied on their wife or their girlfriend to kind of give input into the decisions, they ultimately kind of were the hierarchy, if you will. So I think some men want to hold on to that masculinity, right? It's a form. So even if you're making, $200,000 and I'm making $50,000, okay, handle your business, right? But when you come home, guess what? Like, I want to be respected as the man, and I gotta earn that respect. Don't get me wrong. But just don't come home and belittle it because you make more. And some men may feel intimidated by women that are successful, quote unquote, because they feel like they might be emasculated because of what she's doing. So that's just, again, it goes back to your insecurity, the ego. The male ego is fragile. Very big.
Okay.
So
Say that again. Say that, y'all.
Yeah, the male ego, very fragile, right? You guys, it's very fragile, right? And if you understand that, then, and women are great at this, right? You know how to maneuver, you know how to talk. Just make sure you're not emasculating that man and messing with his ego. Because if you do, then he's going to feel less of a man and he may want to go somewhere else because he's feeling like, hey, why do you need me? I want to feel like I'm needed. What can I do for you? You can do everything for yourself.
Why do you need
Let me balance this point. Let me balance this point out because you got a little too excited. So the only thing I want to say to this though is I hear this excuse from women all the time why they can't find someone because everybody's intimidated by that. Well, if everybody's intimidated by you, have you checked yourself?
Yeah.
Right. Number one, have you checked your energy?
Yeah.
Because the energy, like men are attracted to good feminine energy.
That's right.
And so if you walking in the building all the time with your chest poked out, with masculine energy all the time, then you can't expect me to want to be attracted to that.
Oh, that's one of the questions. Stay right here. I was gonna wait on that.
Let me jump on the back of that real quick
Go
before we
ahead.
jump on
Go ahead. Go
that.
ahead.
Is that, just to add on to what both these fellas said, there are women who make men feel emasculated on purpose, consciously, to feel like they're putting them in their place, and to establish what they feel like their dominance or their value is. If you're coming in telling me, I got this, I make this, I can do this myself, and that's all you're telling me, like he said, why do you need me? And that doesn't mean that a man can't take care of his own, or he shouldn't be handling his business, or he should feel some kind of way about what she's doing. But if that's what you're leading with, if that's what you're bringing into the house, and this is what you're telling me all the time, that what you have from the tangible and material things in comparison to what I don't have, or what you can do by yourself and don't need a man,
Yeah.
that's what I want to be.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's what I want to be.
That's right. And I 100% agree with that. I tell women that I coach all the time. Like, I get asked this question, well, what if the man makes less than you? I don't care nothing about how much this man makes. As long as he can take care of himself, like he's not about to leech off me, he can't go a picture like a bum. If he can handle his own, take care of himself, take me out, we can cover the bill, I can cover it sometimes. It's like, I don't care about that. It's about how you treat me and make me feel on an emotional level, on a physical level, and mentally. Like, can you stimulate me mentally? That's why I said I can't do dumb. That's so important. Like, you have to make sure, because sometimes you get men that has this power, have the money, have the cars, and they treat you like crap.
Absolutely.
And you don't have a
Absolutely.
voice. And you don't have a say. And you're at home crying, trying to figure out everybody else out living, and you in this mansion, but you feel like you don't have anything. You feel empty, you feel lost. But little old over here in this apartment, they're over here living life, posting videos, traveling the world, and this man is leaving you at home with the baby. So the money doesn't really matter. And I feel like women, what do you have? Like, we should have our own as well. You know what I'm saying? Let's add to, let's build together. So
It doesn't make you intimidating just because you have adult things. Because you have a car and a job and a house. It doesn't make you like the first round draft pick.
right,
As a woman.
right,
Like,
right.
it's not. It's
No,
like,
it's not about that. It should be the same for you guys. What
Right.
you do, what you do,
Right.
you pour into me.
Yep.
You pour into my life.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, money can't go with us, right? It's about how you make me feel. How did you make me feel? And that's what's most important.
You already made the point. There are women that sit up there in
I
mansions,
ain't no
miserable.
I ain't no
Miserable.
Go to any
wish he
go
was
to any
here.
place in the middle of the day and stay at home,
Yeah.
stay at home wife,
Yeah.
and
Yeah, they be
your husband's a
miserable.
corporate executive. They be miserable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why you find kids in the lake on the washing machine. And I'm just being honest, my heart goes out to anyone that's dealing with postpartum and all that stuff. But I'm just saying, you're not really being true about how you really feel, and you're staying stuck in these relationships and these marriages. And you say you're doing it for the kids, but the kids are suffering the most. But that's another topic. We'll talk about that later. Never
That's
take
part
for the
two.
kids.
That's part two.
Never take for the kids.
Never.
Never take for the kids. The kids will be at their room hoping you leave, like you leave tonight.
They'll be okay.
They'll be fine. But that's some extra. That was some
Tonight, friend. Tonight.
Leave tonight. You know my status. Bye. All right. Transitioning into a relationship. Okay. How to this is a good one because it's kind of saying the opposite, and I'm going to ask Troy.
Okay.
How to transition out of a relationship that no longer serves you
Yeah.
versus transitioning into one, because I think we kind of got a lot tonight that can show you what you should and shouldn't do. But how do you get out of something that no longer serves you?
Okay, so I think this is important, right? What's important is let's understand what you mean by doesn't serve you.
Okay.
Because you gotta remember, relationships are about serving, right?
Keep
So
going. Keep going.
marriage is about serving. Like how do you, like you should get something in return. There should be reciprocation. But there are seasons
Yeah.
where you're doing more serving.
Woo, come on, talk about
And if
it.
you're not okay with that season, you should never get married. right? Because there are going to be times where you are doing more service than you are receiving. This is what happens. This is why I think the divorce rate is so high. Because people get into a season they hadn't been taught how to handle. Right? And so you're saying, oh, this doesn't serve me anymore because he didn't do this, this, and this that he used to do. And instead of having a good conversation and understand, I got to now lean in a little bit more.
Yeah, that's good.
Then we just walk away. So let's take that off the table. Right now, if it's truly not serving you for a long period of time, you've tried all these things, you've done the counseling, you've done the therapy, you've taken your own accountability, you've done all these things. How do you transition? It's simple. You leave. Right? So you make it clear, here are my desires, here's what's not happened, and I have to make these decisions for the sake of me. And that's it. And then you have to, here's the kicker.
Okay.
You got to stick to it.
Yeah.
See, like women talk to me all the time about leaving somebody and I'm out of here. And 2 weeks later, they right back there. So you still watching the social media page. You still calling. You still keeping tabs. You still having sex.
Yeah.
You still doing all these things. You talking about you leaving.
Ain't going nowhere.
Ain't going nowhere. So you gotta. If you don't cut it, you gotta cut it. So that's my opinion. What y'all think?
I like that. That's really good.
Yeah, no, I think you hit it. You hit it on the head right there. I would say too, just make sure you unturned every rock, every stone, and done everything you think you can do to salvage this relationship. Because at the end of the day, you don't want to have any regrets.
That's
right? You don't want to have any regrets like, wow, if I would have done this differently, then maybe things could have worked out, right? So again, I'm a proponent of marriage and strong relationships, but if it's not working, then you know what? Sometimes it's time to exit. And I think that's why a lot of states have these separation agreements and time frames where you get time away from the person. North Carolina is a year, right? To get your thoughts together, right? To really understand, is this something that I really want to do? I got a whole year to think about it. I got a whole year to just go out and do me. And at the end of that year, we can come back together and figure out if it's going to work.
So you guys agree with having breaks in relationships, taking a break?
I think if it is, so breaks are necessary if you guys get to a point where you feel like you can't work it out. You've tried everything. Let's take some time away from each other and figure out what we're going to do. Now, let's define this break, right? Because something makes sense. I'm going to break. I was like, wow. So let's be clear about this break and what we're going to do. Because at the end of the day, if I'm taking a break, then I'm really taking a break to figure out how do we come back together. So I'm going to think through what do I need to do on my own and figure out how do we work together, right? And if I got a lot of distractions and I'm bringing other people in, then it's going to be convoluted, right?
So it needs to be a clear understanding of what that break is. Because sometimes people do break to go do whatever they want to do, and then come back
And it never comes.
and then whatever you did while you were out there
There's
maybe
no
even
coming
worse.
back.
You got a whole baby.
Yeah,
You on a break though.
we want to break.
Technically.
Right.
You gotta break with a goal, man.
My thing is break to break up. That's mine.
That's break up.
It's like I'm transitioning out.
Transition out.
It's a break to break up without it being ugly and nasty and a break to just break up. Because I feel like if you need a break from me, that's big. You know what I'm saying? Like it can be like, let me just take a moment, couple of days, but to say break from me, that's a saying a lot. That's a lot.
That's a fallback for a lot of people.
Yeah.
That's what they say.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I think we need a break.
That's
I think
hard.
we need a break.
That's hard.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you're
I
right.
really want to see with other people. That's
That's the thing. Like you have to define. I think the goal mutual. Like what's the goal of the break? What are we trying to accomplish from this break? Number one. Number two. What am I doing? Like why for my individual contribution? Why do I need this break? So what am I going to do on this break to contribute to that? So that's contributing to the goal, and that we come back to something.
So are we breaking to become stronger? Are we breaking to see if we want something else? And if that's the case, it might be for me a no-go. Because if you're trying to see if there's something else out there, whatever you got there searching for,
that's different.
I don't know. I can't.
There's no coming
You know what I'm
back.
saying?
There's no coming
But
back.
there's a break for us to figure out how we can work.
Yeah.
And what we're going to be better at. During that break, that means we're still having some communication to figure out how to be better, not just, I'm not going to break and we're going to see about this.
That's the point.
You know
People
what I'm
they don't have those conversations. They just they're so used to hearing the word break. Break means You know what I'm saying? And they just go off and,
Yeah.
like you said, stuff happens.
Yeah, and
You
then
know,
you
a lot
gotta,
of breaks.
you gotta recover from the break.
Right.
Yeah.
Because something happened on a break,
What you
yeah,
doing
you
on
gotta,
your break?
Break up.
Yeah.
Did you see anybody?
yeah, it's too much, it's too much,
It's
it's
way
too
too
much. Okay,
I like that. Good.
good stuff, good stuff. All right, so we're gonna move on to our third category, and then we're gonna come to the questions from you guys. I hope you guys are enjoying the show so far. I am. How about you guys?
Oh,
I just think it should be an after party, like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
We're gonna do something cool with these, guys. I don't know what, but we're gonna do something cool with these. Okay. Maintaining a relationship. This is the third category. Maintaining a relationship. And I didn't get a whole lot of questions here for this category, but maybe we have some from you guys. If you want to try to throw one in there, if we don't get it answered right now on live, we will put it in the comments when we put this back up for you guys. But put in the comments if you guys have a good time at home, if you're enjoying the show, thumbs up. I'm gonna ask MK maybe to read some of your comments if you want to say some stuff to us. How you feeling about this? All right. Sure.
Okay.
How to keep a man interested after a long tenure?
How to keep a man interested after a long tenure? How about you ask him? Just ask him what keeps him interested. Ask him what he needs, what he wants, what he desires. Here's one way to keep a man interested: is initiate.
Gosh, dog.
Initiate not just sex, but initiate attraction, initiate compliments, initiate appreciation, initiate respect. Like, take the initiative. I don't have to earn everything all the time. Like, all the time I don't get appreciated because I go cut the grass. Right? Like, it's like, make me feel like you want me there.
That's
So
good.
if I look at I did a reel one time on the top 3 things that men complain about in marriage.
Okay.
One of the top ones was not feeling desired. Not feeling desired. And women don't hear this because usually the man about to leave by the time you talk about it. Right?
Yeah.
But this is a real thing.
That's
Men
good.
don't feel desired over time because adulting happens and men become the lowest priority.
Yeah.
Right? He's just supposed to be happy that you're there.
Happy that you did.
He's supposed to be happy that you're there. Right? He done got the prize.
Yeah.
He done gave you a couple kids. All this. He's on low end of the totem pole. He never feels desired. And then then all of a sudden you do something. You're like, well, what happened? You don't even act like you like me no more.
Yeah.
You know, so I would say that would be my
That's
one
so
thing.
good.
Help me feel desired. And
That's good.
That's so good because
Yeah.
I think a lot of times the woman wants to feel desired.
yes.
We want to feel adored. We want to feel appreciated,
Mhm.
and it works both ways.
Mhm.
You guys, you just said that you guys are sensitive. You need your ego stroked. And I think sometimes we have some women that go, "I don't stroke ego."
Yeah.
That's
See,
right.
we use that term.
But you want your stroke really. We want our stroke all the time.
All the time. When you get your hair done, you not see that.
Yeah.
Why you my hair cut every week? You ain't said a word.
They said a word. Try like that tape or that line.
No, baby.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get his little haircut.
No,
You
right,
tell-
but that's what you
You
tell
tell
me.
him?
Yes,
Oh, that's
of course.
good.
That's good.
Yeah.
See, we got some
How many
wrong
years?
women.
That's another
Let me say this. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say I like what Troy posted today about the 5 love languages.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
If you
Yeah.
understand a man's love language, then there should be no way
Mm.
you can't keep that interest going, right? Because
Yeah.
if I'm a words of affirmation guy,
Okay.
right, you cut the grass. Oh, babe, I love the way you cut that grass. Look at
Right.
that
That
grass.
edge is
Okay, you know what I'm saying? I'm
I
very interested, right? If I like physical things or a physical touch, right? And you're touching me and we're going out, we're dancing, we're hugging. Yeah, you're keeping me interested, right? So understanding what that man's needs are from a love perspective.
I like that.
You won't be able to keep his interest because you're doing different things to fill each of those categories.
So it shouldn't be that hard. It shouldn't be that
It
hard.
shouldn't be that hard.
Okay.
What they said 100%. And I'm gonna simplify everything what they just said.
Simplicity like the candle.
Yeah.
There we go.
Be willing to do the exact same things that you want for him. The same things that you want,
He wants.
be willing to do those exact same things for him. Because whether he communicates it the same way you do, he wants the exact same
Yeah.
thing.
That's good.
Mhm.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
guys say it's the exact same thing.
Real talk.
He's human.
Real talk.
I love this.
With feelings and emotions
Yeah.
and all
Oh,
that.
we have emotions.
Well, and that was one of my questions. I was gonna not do this question because it can be so deep, but someone asked, and I know we didn't want, I didn't want to go too long with it. Someone asked about women talk a lot of times about being masculine, having our masculine side and our feminine side, but a lot of times you guys don't.
Mm-hmm.
Like that side of you. Why don't you guys? Like, why does it take for us just to know that you want the same things we want versus you verbalizing and being a little softer?
We're taught not to be vulnerable from an early age, right? That shows weakness.
Mm-hmm.
Man, think about it, right? Don't cry. You shut it up. You okay? You a man. You gonna be a man, right? So when you're taught that from a young age, it becomes embedded into your subconscious, and you are going through life tough, right? You go to work, you put the face on, like you figure out things. You're not gonna show any weakness because, again, you don't want to feel like you're inferior. People can mistake that for weakness, right? Other guys, especially. Now, I'll say this: men love a woman who they can be vulnerable with.
Yeah.
Because we're so used to putting on a facade, being that, portraying that image. I'm gonna be able to come home and say, babe, I had a tough day. Like, I was ready to just break down because this freaking person just.
But she has to make her feel comfortable.
She has to,
that.
yeah, right. You can't
give them a safe
belittle me.
space.
Yeah, you can't belittle me or emasculate and say, suck it up. Oh, you're not a man. Because then, if you do that, I'm not gonna be willing to open up to you.
But is it important for a man to identify that within themselves, though, in order to be a suitable mate?
Yeah.
Said suitable, and I want to talk about this because we talk a lot about compatibility,
Yeah.
right? So we talk about suitability. Are you suitable for my life?
Right. That's a good question.
You know what I'm saying? Because we can be, the chemistry can be there, we can be compatible, but at the end of the day, are you suitable?
Simple. What season are you in?
Yeah. Because we grow, and you talk a little bit about, what season, like, listen, don't just run out the door because this person could be in the season of you're serving more right now, right? But what happens when you just grew into a whole other person? Like, you're no longer that person who that woman married, or that man married, like, you grew into something different, and that person is so right.
But again, right, nothing living stays the same.
Nothing,
Everything
right.
grows, even physiologically.
So
right?
we can't
Things
grow together.
Yeah, so you got to expect to grow. So we have to grow together.
Yeah.
And we got to be able to understand, hey, just because you don't want to do this thing anymore doesn't mean you don't love me or you're
Okay.
changing.
That's
You're just
it.
evolving. I want to evolve with you as well.
Yeah.
If I can't do that, then maybe we go our separate ways. And you find that a lot of times with, when you're in relationships early on, people go separate ways because they are doing different things. They just have different interests. And that's just who they are as a person. So no disrespect. I'm not trying to judge you, but now I'm just trying to, I'm on a different path. I'm trying to go in this area.
Yeah.
You're trying to go in this way. Okay,
Yeah.
cool, man. We go apart or we go together.
Yeah. Just with the masculine, feminine thing from
Yes.
the original question,
Yes.
I think that classification in itself probably has something to do why a man may feel some kind of way because it's classified as feminine
Yeah.
energy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You express the feminine side, okay?
Wait a minute.
Feelings are feminine, emotions, going through stuff, life is feminine, it's human.
Wow. I
It's
like
human,
that.
it's not feminine. So if
That's
you keep
good.
describing it as
That's
feminine,
Don't do that.
and like Ben said, so many men get chastised, not only from other men, but from women, from being more feminine. You asking me to be the thing that you chastising me for being.
Yeah.
How confusing
Is that?
is that?
And-
I'm not a real man because I'm showing emotion.
Emotion.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's
Exactly. Let me make
And that's
one point. I was watching,
That's
what was
good.
the show? One of those Ready to Love, one of those kind of shows. No, Married at First Sight.
Okay.
And a guy expressed that he had mental health issues that he was going to counseling for like PTSD or something like that. Her reaction was, oh, I want a real man. I don't want somebody who's feminine who's going to be too emotional. I need you to be the man.
Yeah. Yeah.
How do you do? It's so messed up.
Like that's real. That's today.
That's real,
yeah.
That's today.
So
You know what I'm saying?
Here's the thing I try to tell women this all the time: is you can't want a man to have emotions just when it's convenient for you. Right? And so this is
That
what
part.
I feel like. You want me to have emotion when I'm telling you how great you are, how much I love you, how I want to be affectionate with you, and all that stuff. But on the other hand, When I have emotions about something else,
Mhm.
and I'm angry, or I'm upset, or I'm sad,
Yeah.
and now you looking at me some kind of way,
Yeah.
and you throw it in my face.
Yeah.
Women love to use this word, emotional unavailability.
Yeah.
I'm just so emotionally unavailable.
Yeah.
But when it does have emotion, how do you respond to it?
Mm.
Do you invite it,
Yeah.
or do you shut it down?
That's right.
And if you shut it down, you ain't getting it no more.
That's right.
Right.
That's
So you got to really think about that.
Right.
Okay, I have a question.
Good point.
This is kind of skipping when you said you won't get it no more.
Mhm.
Is it true that men only truly love one woman, like really, really love one woman in his life? Like even if he don't end up being with her, like only one woman will have his heart.
I believe that.
You know,
I
we
don't
get
know
our
if that's
heart over and over
necessarily
again, get it
the
broken like
case.
how we do. We can get our heart broken to a million pieces 10 times, like and
Let's
chill down
keep
that.
going.
Who next?
So what you're saying is we start with our
Who won? Yeah, maybe so, maybe so, maybe so. I'm just saying. Keep down for that. And maybe we don't heal properly. Heal ladies, heal properly, but
What I'll say is that the woman that does the things that we're talking about, the woman that creates an environment for a guy to be vulnerable, the woman that holds him down when he classifies holding him down, when he goes through those things, that's the woman who he's going to remember. Even if they don't end up being together like that, he never forgets that girl.
Absolutely.
I remember when I was down and she held me
Held me
down,
down.
even when I wasn't at my best. Being there for a man when he's not at his best,
Yeah.
not judging him for that,
Yeah.
That's good.
He was
and allowing him the same grace that you want when you're going through things,
Yeah.
that's the one who holds that place in his heart for that man.
Yeah. So she allowed him to be his true self.
His true
Yeah.
self.
Yeah.
All.
And he
Yeah.
may not end up with her, but
Yeah.
he will never
That's it.
forget her.
Never.
He's still texting y'all right now.
Never.
Yeah, I know he did.
He's still
So
texting
you want me phone blowing up right now?
But no, that's where you build great friendships, I think.
Absolutely.
Because actually, when I was coming out of my divorce, I had a friend like that, and we weren't going to be together, but he will always remember. And if he called me right now, I would be there for him.
Absolutely.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's so true. That's good stuff. Good stuff. Okay, so that's all I have that was submitted in advance. Thank you for these questions. They were amazing. I have some from you guys that we're going to get to really quick because we do have some time. How y'all feeling? This has been good. It has been. It's been. I heard some gems that even I,
Yeah,
Oh,
well,
yeah.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
that even I, and if I say
I need a cake right about
it
that.
needs
You know what I appreciate is that you create an environment where people are willing to actually listen to us.
yeah.
One thing that men always feel is they don't feel heard. So they don't feel desired, and then they don't feel heard. And so giving us a platform to feel heard,
Thank you.
That's awesome.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Thank you. And thank you. This is why I did it though, because I've been in some relationships, right? And I'm not naive. Like I'm never to say I'm not to blame in anything. But I always hear us. I always hear us trying to give each other advice about what we think the man was thinking, girl, why you did what you did. And I'm like, listen, why do we do that? Why can't we just ask them? But we have to be willing to hear, to receive it, and not hear just like, okay, whatever. Like really receive it and do something with it. And this is why I wanted to do this. So I'm grateful that you guys said this, but I just wanted to come into your world because if we're trying to coexist together, we have to hear each other, and we need to hear your point of view. And I know, like being a relationship coach, I know that soft side of me, and I have to study and learn it. That's part of my job.
That's right.
But everybody out there don't study and train and take courses for this, so they just don't know. So I kind of have like a little cheat sheet to y'all, a little bit.
cheat code.
Yeah, a little cheat code. I have the advantage, but we all can have the advantage if we had this. If we did more of these.
And that's the thing, like, you guys are privy to relationships and how they go, but most of the time we get in relationships with a guy who has no idea or is not connected to his emotional side or who don't know how to express how he's feeling. So we have to think for both of us. And that's where the disconnect is.
Yeah.
I do think men have to do a better job of embodying each other to have.
Yeah.
So I think I'll try to do that with my friend groups, right?
Yeah.
Instead of just asking about the sports,
Right.
how you doing?
Yeah.
What's really going on?
Yeah.
You know, so we're trying to do that. I think men are involved in that.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, a lot of times we don't do that until it's dying.
Oh,
Until it's
It's
bad.
dying.
You like to walk out the door.
Like, it's like,
She done packed the bag. She leave. That's what y'all want to
yeah,
talk
you're
about.
right, we didn't do that.
Yeah, and you know, I find it like with like close friends, like best friends. Like best friends will be a little bit more vulnerable from a male
Yes.
Yeah.
with each other than they will be to just anybody. So I'm having conversations like that with some of my friends, and you know, it's really for them, it's really emotionally a relief because they haven't been able to. Yeah, they're free, right? They haven't been able to do that before, and I want to be there to help them, right? Because at the end of the day, it's a community. I want you to succeed. I want everybody to succeed. So in any way I can do that, you know, I'm here for you.
There you go.
Okay. So that's good.
Yeah. Let me say this last thing is based on what you said about why this platform is so important that you want us to coexist. I don't want us just to coexist.
Okay.
I believe that we need each other to fulfill our fullest potential. Like we need each other.
Yes.
Not to say that you can't succeed, not to say that you can't have things and be successful.
We do need
But I think that in order for us to be as fulfilled and living as full of a life that we can be, I think we need each other. And I think that this is why that's important. Not just to be, but just to be filled.
I like that.
That's
And I always say that we need each other. We need each other. That's it. So here's our question from you guys. Thank you for your patience. We're getting right to it. I won't say who it's from because I don't know if you want me to say it, but what do you do when someone has communication issues? I'm gonna let anybody take it. The first person to start speaking. What do you do when someone has communication issues?
So, all right. So I'll take this one, right? Because I'm passionate about communication. Communication is a skill, just like any other thing you learn. So why don't we learn everything else if we don't study the skill of communication? So if I want to know more about being a good communicator, I'm going to send you resources. I'm going to help. I'm going to model what that looks like.
Right.
I'm going to then say, okay, have you thought about saying it this way? Right. So here's a communication coach. I don't care what it takes. But if we're having trouble getting our point across to each other, then we can't communicate well.
That's right.
So you don't get better without new knowledge.
Right.
I love it.
So give me new knowledge. That's what I would do.
So what? So would you recommend this person like sit down with that person and say, hey, this is my issue with you?
Yeah.
If you're willing to do something about it, basically.
Well, it's their opportunity.
Yeah. I think you got to ask the question. To your point, you got to understand why we have a communication issue. Am I creating a space for you to feel comfortable to communicate to me? Right. So if I don't understand what the issue is, then I can't possibly fix the problem. Right. So you got to have a person who's willing to be open to talk about issues, and it's not necessarily argumentative. It's a conversation. Right? You have an opinion, I have an opinion, let's talk about it. And let's just be open. But I think you really have to make sure you create that space for people to open up and start to talk. Because if you don't talk, to Troy's point, it's going to fall apart, right? That's
or
the
if
most
you talk and they're used to you responding a certain way, all the time they're afraid to communicate.
Yeah. Do something different.
So what you're saying is one can't just deflect every time we say something. I want to know if that was a thing that happened.
It happens.
And does happen. And because I remember, and even me, right? I've had this struggle before too. If they would voice their concern, I would always put it back on them. Well, you do this too.
Yeah,
So the person
right.
says, okay, so why are you having that concern? And really taking accountability to make sure I understand where she's coming from. Put myself in her shoes and being able to say, okay, I got it. Let me try to do this differently.
That's a pet peeve of mine. I do not like when I bring up a situation and you go, but you did it.
Yeah.
You didn't address it when I did it. We ain't talking about that.
It's really an emotional response. It's I feel attacked. I'm defending myself.
And I get that. I get that.
That's the skill part.
I get that. But if you didn't, we're different. If you didn't feel the need to say something about it, maybe it didn't bother you the way it bothers me.
That's right.
You don't get to deflect because I did it or something similar. If it's bothering me, maybe it didn't bother you, but this bothers me.
Absolutely.
Hear me in this moment. I don't believe in hitting below the belt either. I always say stick to the argument. Ladies, we can go far left. I feel like whatever you're discussing right now, that should be it. Don't go back to what he did last week or last month or last year. because that means you had to truly heal from it and let it go. So why are y'all still together, or why did y'all continue to move forward? If you decide to get over it, you got to get over it. You got to deal with that another way. But you can't throw that back on him every single time you guys have a disagreement. Also, if it's the same thing over and over and over again, you gotta ask yourself what's wrong with you. It ain't him. It's what you allow this person to do. You're allowing this to happen. And a person will stay with you if you allow it. So I know it hurts sometimes to walk away, but I love to say use me. And when I say use me, I have many gifts. I have amazing. I love to pour into people. Use me. That's what I'm here for. That's what we're to serve. I'm a servant. Use every gift that I have, but don't misuse me. And don't mishandle me. Because if you do, it's so long, bye-bye. You know? So that's my thing. Like, and that's another thing, like, oh, he does that. Let that man use you. Pour into him. Give him what you have. Teach him, show him. Because they need that. Like, we've been taught to, like, look down upon you guys, and we don't need a man. Black women, we are winning right now. Like, we are. Like, we bad. We bomb. I love it. I love to see it. But I don't love seeing, I don't need a man. I'm good. I don't like that. I don't like that at all. It's not cute at all. Because low key, you're at home crying wish you had somebody, or you in somebody else's man's DM. Like, let's just be real about it. But you have this stuff at spirit like you don't need and you do. And so just be honest about what you want and what you need, and you can manifest that in your life. All right. So next question. Is it okay as a woman to approach the man first, or is that being desperate? We know dance don't like desperate women.
Red flags.
Go ahead.
Yeah, I can finish off. I feel it's okay. To me, because I think it sets a precedent that if you feel a certain way, you have something to say, you're willing to take the initiative to say it then. If you feel it, say it. Don't get mad at me because you're over there throwing hints and trying to work on across the wall.
I ain't seen it.
You ain't get I'm lame because I didn't see you trying to get me sick.
Oh, that's good. Because we do do that.
I know. He ain't even see me.
So basically, you need to just say it. Ask the question you want to answer to. Don't expect you guys to.
Yeah, I mean, you don't have to be overly, aggressive. Some guys be like that, but you don't have to be, overly aggressive. But there's nothing wrong with showing interest if you have it. Because you never know where you
I agree with that too, because you may hang out with somebody and you're not just like, they're really, really cool. And then you just, say, hey, have you ever thought about, let's go out. What is wrong with that? Because if you already cool with them and hanging out with them, they'd be like, okay, we can go out, but like I may have another interest or whatever. You're gonna get the truth, so you know your lane to stay in. But I don't see anything wrong with it, because like he said, you never know.
One point.
Go ahead.
Online dating, people doing online dating. Like the data suggests that women that shoot their first shot have more success online dating than women that don't. Right? And so there's a reason for that, number one. Number two, can we reframe the word approaching, right? And just say, open it up for opportunities for connection. That's all we're doing. Open up opportunity for connection. That's all I'm doing. Having a conversation with you to open up opportunity to connect with you. That's it. When you say like approaching, women seem like, oh, I ain't chasing no man. No. Open up the opportunity for them to connect with you. You wouldn't have a problem doing it for a business connection. I done seen women work a room. I done seen it.
I like
that. They know that's the owner of this boutique over here. They don't want the whole room to get to that person.
Yeah, that's true.
Why not do it?
A lot of women say a reason why they don't approach men like that is because they don't want to get rejected. They don't like how that feels. Let me let you in on a little secret. We don't like to get rejected either. but because you guys feel like, oh, you men, you're used to it. So you rather us take 50 shots and maybe get one, but we should be okay. Oh, you'll be okay. We should feel okay with being rejected. So
I guess if I'm in a room, let's say it's mostly women in this room, right? I'm out at some event. I may have my, more options, right, to go after. But the one who stands out is probably the one who's going to come over and say, hey, how you doing? Love the way your shoes look. Oh, that's a great outfit.
Yeah.
Where did you put that together, right? So general conversation. It don't even have to be, hey, baby, I'm going to get to know you.
Exactly.
It's just general conversation. And that right there is going to stick out in my mind. And then you never know, like, where the conversation is going to go.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, I can find out we have similar interests, something in common. Hey, let's connect and let's do this thing.
Yeah.
Bam.
Him
That's
is
all it
all.
is.
He gonna run with it. If he like you, he will.
Absolutely.
He gonna run with it.
I like that.
Compliments work almost every time.
Every time.
I'm gonna try that. I'm gonna try that.
Yeah, that's what it
Speaking
is.
words.
Compliments work.
Absolutely.
Tell me I smell good and see watch me go like that.
It's
Teaching over here.
I like that. That's good. Good stuff. All right, so last question because one question I've already answered, so what are the most important things a woman can bring to a relationship? I'm just going to tell you guys to say one thing. Just say one each. What is something that's important for a woman? I'm not going to say most important. Just one thing that you want someone to bring to a relationship. You would want.
I would want a woman to bring an identity.
Ooh.
An identity.
Come on.
Yeah, you gotta know who you
That's
are as a
everything.
person and bring that to the relationship because that's what's going to attract me to you. Right? I want somebody who I can have similar interests with, who has a life, who's doing good things, right? That I find attractive.
Like, you don't want her to be only interested in the things that whatever you're interested
Whatever
in.
you like.
Right.
What did Eddie Murphy do?
Right. He was like,
Work like a dog.
right.
Okay. In Queens.
That's what's up, man. That's what's up.
Yeah.
That's important.
You good?
I think for me, what's important is a nurturing spirit.
Okay.
And when I say nurture, I don't mean I'm a baby, you take care of me. What I mean is a woman takes what you have and she nurtures it to life. Right? Whether it's kids, whether it's at home, whether it's your dream,
Yeah.
she helps birth it and brings it to life. She makes you feel like you can do things that you never thought you could do.
Absolutely.
Right? So to me, nurturing is something that that I would want help with.
That's
I
a
like
good
that. That's so good.
Absolutely.
So good.
For me, bring your truth. That's it. Bring me your truth. Bring me your 100%.
No lie.
Who are you?
Bring me you.
Not
All
the
of you. Don't give me half, don't give me part you think I want.
Yeah.
Keep it a buck all day, every day.
Yes. Yes.
So I have a closing question for all of you. I feel like I need to do a commercial right now. So I'm going right quick.
Yes.
You
Our sponsors,
wanna-
we're our sponsors.
yeah. So what I want, we are sponsored tonight by the Quantum Wise. So go get your calendar at dqwise.com. But listen, I want to say this before I go to my last question to you guys. I want to thank my advanced people who did questions in advance. And the first three people was a young lady by the name of Beanie, I had Kim, and I had B. So you ladies will be going home with your copy of a book from Mr. Anthony Rice. If you're not here present, B was actually one of our picks to actually be present tonight. She's in the building, so thank you, B, for being here. She's going home with the book. Beanie and Kim, I will get your books sent out to you. Mr. Bryce is going to make sure you get those. And what else I have? I have a gift for my live guest too. Shanice, you get a gift tonight. You're going home with my Troy's books tonight. So we have some gifts. And then I'm going to send a book home with one of my questions from the online that submitted one. And I'm just gonna pick somebody. Dr. Petty, because you are essential to us. Thank you for all you do. You're going to get a book from Mr. Troy Spicewell. But the goal is for you guys to go support these amazing men. We're not done quite yet, but I just want to kind of plug this. So sometimes at the very end we forget to do this, and it's most important to me. How you can find these people, and I'll ask you again at the end, but some people kind of slow in the chat. So tell us how we can find you,
Yeah.
and what it is that you like have to offer. Like, what's your book?
Okay, absolutely. So I'm Troy Spry. I'm a certified dating and relationship coach. You can go and find me on Instagram right now. If you want right now, go follow me at Exclusive5. It's XKLUSIVE, the number 5. And just go visit my website. You can get a copy of my free ebook. It's called Teaching You How to Love: A Man's Journey Toward Through Marriage. If you sign up for the email list, and then you can get a copy of my live book, Teaching You How to Love: Why What You Don't Know Will Hurt You. You can get that via Amazon.
Ooh, good stuff, good stuff, good stuff. His Instagrams are so funny, but so good. They so fun. I laugh every morning. I can make me laugh. So good. And when he gets the camera with the paper,
He's shaking.
listen, it's so funny. But definitely follow Troy Spry.
Yeah, so again, Vance Andre, you can follow me at Advance to Grow. I'm a certified life coach. I specialize in relationships, and I really focus on men and women who are going through broken relationships. So whether you're going through a divorce, a separation, maybe you have been hurt, right, and you're coming out of something, I want you to be whole before you can get into another relationship. Otherwise, you're going to repeat the same mistake. So that's my specialty. You can visit my website, advancetogrow.com. But again, I'm just here as a coach. If you want to set up a free consultation, we can talk about your situation. And I enjoy doing these type of forums because it's really necessary. So I thank you for allowing me to be here.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. My name is Anthony D. Bryce. You can follow me on Instagram. That's most of my content is at Anthony D. Bryce. Also, my website, anthonydbryce.com. You can get a free ebook copy of Loving Alone Until We're Together. Discover the 4 magnets of maximum attraction to manifest true love. Just go to findtruelove.co. That's findtruelove.co. And you can download a free copy of the book that the Quan was raving about right now. So
good.
So I have a podcast out there as well. It's called Between Love and Hate.
Yes.
Right? So go to betweenloveandhate.podbean.com. We have about 34 episodes, and it's me and a female co-host.
Okay.
And we talk about things like dating and being single, and divorce, and marriage.
Okay.
So go listen to some of those episodes because we have really good conversations about just life in general as it relates to relationships.
So in closing, I'm going to ask you guys a question to close us out with. I'm going to share something that I've learned, though. We've always said that men are just simple. We always say that, right? Men are just so simple. I've learned tonight you guys are not simple at all. You're not simple at all. You need exactly what we need. You need exactly what we need. And so my takeaway is that I hope you have some amazing takeaways out there. We would love to hear your takeaways, so please DM me your takeaways from tonight. But I want all of you ladies watching tonight, and if you're going to watch this back later, if you're watching this after the live, take away that men are not simple. So let's stop saying that. Like, anything that we say, we give energy and life to. So, and we just believe it. So we don't really care about their emotions or that they really don't feel because we think they're just simple-minded. But it's more to them as well. So men are not simple whatsoever.
That's right.
I'm going to take that away from tonight. So my closing question for each one of you is what the topic was tonight. If you could give a piece of advice, and I had a great time in the Lions Den. I think I did good.
you should also.
I got a VIP pass, baby. So anytime y'all have questions, just send them to me, and I can come back anytime. What piece of advice that you would give to the ladies out there? What men wish women knew? What is one piece of advice you wish women knew about men?
About me.
Yeah. That you thought we just don't know. Again, that you guys are simple, and I don't think you are at all.
So, what I would say is accountability is sexy, right? And so what I mean by that is men like women that can admit that they don't have it all together all the time, right? Because y'all are always taught to be so strong, so right, so perfect, so all these things. We appreciate when you can admit to your shortcomings and then improve on those things. Right? So to me, accountability is a very attractive thing for a woman, and it doesn't make you less of a woman. Right? It doesn't make you less of a woman to not have it perfect all the time. We can then see ourselves in you. Right? Whenever you are learning to be accountable for you and your actions and your thoughts and your feelings.
That's good. And it's sexy.
And
And it's sexy.
I agree 100%.
Wow, that's beautiful.
And it's sexy.
Yeah.
Piece of advice. What you
Yeah, I would say men, a couple of things, right? So men want someone who's going to be able to help them to grow. And when I say grow, I'm not perfect, right? I'm a man, I'm a human,
Yeah.
and I want to learn how to love you. So help me to get there, right? If I have dreams, if I have aspirations, encourage me. Because I don't get that from the world. I want that from my woman, right? I want to be able to I really want this to happen, but I just don't know how.
Wow.
If you can say, hey, let me be there and help you out with this, oh man, we're gonna melt. We're gonna be in your arms and we're gonna be like, okay, I love you for that.
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, it's a partnership. Right? If we're not able to, if I'm not able to grow,
Yeah.
then we probably can't grow together.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Oh, that's good.
yeah, we gotta make sure we're holding
Ain't
together.
that good?
Woo,
Girl, I'm melting
Are
now.
y'all right?
That was good.
Hold that candle over there.
I know y'all cards down already. I don't know what you did about Adam. That was so good.
That was good.
Yeah.
Wow.
On.
Woo.
Yeah, that was
Right.
hard to fall behind you guys. 'Cause, my joint is pretty simple. Understanding what a man's goals, aspirations, and values are, ask your man what he needs. Ask him what he needs. So many men don't get asked that question. We're taught to give and to better understand her, and their thoughts that make sure the man is giving you everything that you need and everything that you deserve. But guess what? We deserve it too. You know what I'm saying? We want to be all of that for you. We want to give all of that to you, but we want to feel worthy and feel like we deserve these things as well. So if you are asking me what I need and what I want and what makes me feel happy and checking in with me, then that's what's going to take the relationship to another level, and that's what's going to allow me to be the best version of me. Not only for me, not only for you, but for us to become what we can become.
How we show up.
There you go.
Guys, this was amazing. The whole building here is awesome. I'm big on energy, and it feels so good in this room. I wish you guys could feel it. I hope we was able to penetrate it through the camera in your homes, that you learned something, that you can grow, and you don't have to have it together. We're not asking you to have it together. If you're here, it's because you want to grow and you wanted some questions answered, and I hope you got them. I mean, they did amazing. Nothing like I'm so thankful for your guests. I'm going to say this. These guys, well, they know one another. I'm not sure how, but Anthony and don't know these guys at all. And so we did one Zoom call in my madness of my life, and I was like, can we just get on here just to meet each other? I never met these guys until today. I haven't seen Anthony in a while. So it's just been an honor to do this. I'm excited. I think I'm about to change my whole career.
Listen, you got a future in host now. You got a future in hosting now. Great job.
A host.
Yeah.
Thank you. But this was awesome, and we're gonna do this again. We're gonna have a part 2. How y'all feel about that?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
I think y'all played it a little safe this time. Next time you're gonna
Let's
get
get y'all ready
real.
for
Yeah, we got to make
You
it.
know, based off the question.
Right. I know. Right. We're gonna get juicy.
They go raw.
That's the problem who's going on.
But it's like somebody said, it's attractive.
It's attractive.
It's
I
attractive.
think it's important, anything, to lay a foundation.
It is.
We laid a foundation tonight,
Right.
and so now we'll come back with
Create a
some
safe space.
a safe space. So yes,
That's right. That's right.
a safe space. But we're done for tonight. We're gonna give you guys back your night. We're so thankful, guys. Give y'all some hugs here. Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
I appreciate you. Thank you.